right, Professor Cooper here. Let's talk a little bit about multi-panel plotting. So we're talking about putting at least two plots into one panel, and we're also actually going to talk about inset plots, so placing one plot inside another. All right, so for these skills, we are going to reference the gridExtra package and the cowplot package. I really like gridExtra for just basic grid arrange, and it's got lots of features for setting up the plotting environment and where you want to place these plots. Cowplot has some of this as well. And then when it comes to inset plots, there's a variety of solutions, but cowplot has a particularly useful one that I'm going to show you. And I'm going to do a couple of basic plots with empty cars to start. The first one's just going to be a bar plot. We're going to make the bar plot based on the cylinders of the engines in the cars that are in the data set. And I'm going to make a quick bar plot of the average fuel efficiency based on 4 versus 6 versus 8 cylinders. So I create a factor because, again, cylinders are numeric in the data set. I do a group by, summarize, get a mean, and then I'm piping in a ggplot. And I'm making a geom bar stat equals identity, which is identical to, I'll put that in hashtag here, identical to geom call with no stat equals identity, if you recall. And then I put a theme minimal on this particular one. And then I'm going to save it as an object, so when I make it, we're not going to see it print yet. Okay, we're not going to see it print yet. That'll come later when I use something called ggdraw or grid arrange, either way. All right, the second plot is going to be a basic pie chart. And all I do in this case is count the number of cars that have 4, 6, and 8 cylinders in a normal bar chart, a count bar chart, not one where I've estimated a statistic. And then I fold that into a polar coordinate plot and turn it into a circle, into a pie chart. So this code is an even more basic bar chart, right? Which is where you start when you're going in the direction of a pie chart in ggplot. And then chord polar, theta equals y in this case. So the angle is that are created are defined by the y values. And then I give it a dumb label. I'm going to use theme void, and then I'm going to tell you why later, but I'm getting rid of the legend with this argument here. And then I'm changing some things about the plot title, including the sizing of it, and I'm centering it with a horizontal justification equals 0.5. Okay, so I've done a couple of little things here that are a little bit different than what we've done before, but no big deal. Okay, so I want to place these two plots in a two-plot panel. I'm going to do this from gridExtra using the grid arrange function. It has a lot of arguments that I'm not even going to touch today. But we're just going to get you started, basically, and then we can talk in class about what some of the rest of the arguments are for. A grid arrange says, give me the plots. This is like base R in the sense where you have a PAR function, and then an MF row function, and then you just list your plots that you want to add inside the plotting grid. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Grid arrange, you can try that if you want, but we're going to do grid arrange here. Grid arrange, plot 1, comma, plot 2. And then I don't want it to arrange by rows, I want it to arrange by columns so they're side by side. And lo and behold, we have a couple of charts, a couple of plots here. We have a simple bar chart and a simple pie chart. I have done no labels. I've used a void theme over here and a minimal over here. The void gives you nothing, and I centered the title and I made it small. Okay, that's going to come into play a little bit later when I start to work with insetting, because I'm going to inset this plot over here, and I don't want duplicate legends, which is why I took off the legend before.